Hello, everyone. It's that time of year, so to speak. It's mid to late March, which I think is about when Christmas usually is. So that's when I'm doing Advent of Code this year. Those of you who follow the channel know I have a habit or a tradition, maybe, of doing Advent of Code on the channel. Usually in Haskell. I did Python 1 year. I've done Clojure off camera for like the first year, but I don't think I have done it on camera. I just didn't feel like doing it this year. Whatever. It's been an interesting time. So I felt, though, like I should finally get into it. Not so much because I'm dying to do Advent of Code, but because I want to do something productive with my time. And really, I should learn a new language. So we're not doing Advent of Code in Haskell this year. For the last couple of years, I've been telling myself I should learn Rust in time to do Advent of Code, and I've never done it. And this year, I also have not done it. But I thought I would take this opportunity to at least give Kotlin a try. I have, substantial professional experience in both Java and Clojure, so I'm very familiar with the JVM. It's a comfy place to be. Kotlin I know a little bit about. It's, the new hip JVM language, but mostly, there are things about Kotlin that I like. There are things about Kotlin that I don't like. I don't know enough about it to really have a fair opinion, so I will not tell you what any of those things are. It also at least has some kind of, as a modern language, it has some stuff that the older languages are lacking. It has a lean towards immutability, but not very hard at all, is my understanding. It tries to avoid null problems with, decent success as long as you never need to talk to any Java. And it has algebraic data types, although it doesn't call them that, right? It has data classes. I guess those are just the same as classes, though, right? I have to remember, I know how to make union type. Sorry. I know how to make product types. That's just a class with some fields. I'm going to have to look up how to make some types, but it has them. And I've never really written any Kotlin. So, let me show you the biggest Kotlin program I've ever written. Here it is. I wrote it 5 minutes ago. It says, print test. And then it makes a list. And I confirmed that I can run this in Visual Studio. So, great. This is a slight lie. I did write, I ported a small Java thing to a Kotlin thing at work months ago. But it was embedding in some existing framework, and I really have no idea what any of it was doing anymore. This is the biggest program I've written by myself. So my plan is, Kotlin is a language run by an IDE company, mostly. I mean, there are other people on the Kotlin board, companies, right? I think Google and what's the name of the company? Who makes IntelliJ? JetBrains. I think those are the two biggest members on the Kotlin board or whatever. But it's like a JetBrains. The language practically belongs to the IDE. So my plan is I'll just let autocomplete tell me what to do all the time, and we'll see how it goes. If I have to, I'll pause to look things up, but maybe I'll do it on camera. You never know. So let's get started with day one, shall we? I haven't read any of these. I think I've read one because someone had asked a question about it on Stack Overflow, but it was day 8 or day 11 or something. I don't know. Who knows how far we'll even get this year. Is this right? 2022 calorie counting. Okay. Santa's reindeer typically eat regular reindeer food, but they need a lot of magical energy to deliver presents on Christmas. What is this a link to? Why is that funny? Yes, I saw calorie counting, and I was like, yeah, we did this years ago, right? Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're not doing this one. That was 2018. For that, their favorite snack is a special type of star fruit that only grows deep in the jungle. Okay, that's why we're getting stars this time. The elves have brought you on their annual expedition to the grove where the fruit grows. To supply enough magical energy, the expedition needs to retrieve a minimum of 50 stars by December 25th. Well, I've got 9 months, so that's nice. Although the elves assure you that the grove has plenty of fruit, you decide to grab any fruit you see along the way just in case. Okay. So I guess we're not at the grove. We're going to spend these 25 days on a trip to the grove. And then we'll get there and we'll find out we don't have very many stars there or something. And oh, good thing we collected them along the way. Who knows? Anyway, collect stars by solving puzzles. Yes, I understand. The advent of code, basic thing. The jungle must be too overgrown and difficult to navigate in vehicles or access from the air. The elves' expedition traditionally goes on foot. As your boats approach land, the elves begin taking inventory of their supplies. One important consideration is food. In particular, the number of calories each elf is carrying, your puzzle input. The elves take turns writing down the number of calories, capital C, which I think is correct actually, contained by the... I would never remember to write with capital C, but I think you're supposed to. And I imagine they probably mean kcals, not that it matters. Contained by the various meals, snacks, rations, etc. They brought with them one item per line. Each elf separates their own inventory from the previous, if any, by a blank line. For example, suppose the elves finish writing, okay, so this guy has 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Yes, I understand what all of this means. In case the elves get hungry and need extra snacks, they need to know which elf to ask. So who has the most calories? Well, my goodness, that certainly is a computationally simple task, perfectly suited to someone who does not know how to do shit in this language. I sort of imagine that reading the input is going to be the exciting part. Let's grab my input, I guess. Okay, hang on. Back to here. So I had sort of structured my program, I had, like, I don't know. I think I'm going to make this whole thing one big IntelliJ project, whereas before for Haskell I had like one Git repo with 25 Haskell projects in it. And so I was like, oh, you know, I'll just put something in the default package. What could go wrong? But I need more than just the day one Kotlin file, of course. I need the input. So let's make some packages named, I own org malloys AKM AOC 2023 day one. Sure. So yes, fine. So I have a package. It's very long, but that's fine. Who cares? I know Kotlin people are probably wincing, but I don't know. I'm an old Java guy. I'm very much like, yes, give me real domains, or reverse domain names. And we need another file called input.txt. Yeah, sure. Put that in Git. Why not? I'm doing this on Windows, by the way. I've been doing like every year on Windows, but I've been doing it in the Windows subsystem for Linux using command line tools. So this is honestly like the first time in decades that I've programmed in native Windows. So, I'm just using a portable Kotlin thing, so I'm sure it's all going to be lovely, but I'm not using the command line tools I'm used to using. Really, this should be in resources, shouldn't it? But I don't know how to organize that shit, so... Actually... I probably want... Do you put packages under resources? What's the deal there? I don't know. I probably don't want to. What I want, probably, is to put this in resources, yes. And so then maybe I could have not had this package, but whatever. Here you are. And let's name this... How do I do that? Refactor, rename? Okay. Let's rename this day1.txt. So I think that this should be like on the class path at the root, right? So I should be able to load it. What happens if I just search for resource? Thinking. Okay, this is not great. None of these are what I wanted. Although, we're getting, I mean, class loader, that's probably fine. I'm sure there's a better way in Kotlin to load a file from a resource, right? Let's just pause and look that up real quick. Okay, I'm back. And I think I was paused. Yeah, I was. Okay, good. So I found a Stack Overflow question where people are saying, how do you read text file from a resource in Kotlin? And there's this like my spec class. I don't really have a class right now. I don't want one either most of the time. This class, maybe, I'm not sure what my this is in this context. Maybe there is one. But this looks about right. There surely must be something called Java class, which is like the class of whatever code is running. So if I just say like Java class.getResource, that looks about what I'm expecting. Oh, okay. And someone says you could also make an and it points out you can make an anonymous object if you don't have one. Okay, so like let's see how that works. This is how I go to my IDE? Yes, okay. So if we were to say this, yeah, Java class, it says doesn't exist. Why not? Maybe this isn't an implicit accessor. It's something they were assuming I had in scope. Well, I don't. Joke's on you. But we can make a new object here. Class, Java class. Okay, get resource. day1.text. And read. Funny enough, this is one of the things that Kotlin does. Oh, and if I hit like Alt-Enter, yes, you'll introduce a variable for me. Great. Input lines. Okay. What do you not like about this? Anyway, this is a nice thing. Like one of the things that Kotlin does that at first I found very distasteful. And now I think is a powerful tool that you have to use tastefully. This, you know, we've looked up the class of some random object, and that gets us to, you know, a class has a get resource that can load from the class loader, which is where you find stuff like this that's on the class path. But it gives you back like a what do you get back actually? Will you tell me? What is this? A URL, yes. A URL object, this is all Java, you know, interop stuff. A URL doesn't have a read text method. If you have a URL object in Java or a closure or whatever, you call read text on it, it's like, fuck you, that doesn't exist. But Kotlin has this thing called extension functions where you can, within a scope, pretend there are methods on a class that aren't there and call like kind of free floating functions as if they were member functions. This helps make IDE directed stuff nice. You can just say like, tell me all the things I can do on this with like dot. You don't have to remember what class it's a static method of or whatever. So you can like have stuff like this where it's like, where does this method even come from? If you're not in an IDE, it's like impossible to know, but why would you write Kotlin not in an IDE, right? So let's see what it doesn't like about this. What unsafe use of a nullable receiver of type URL question mark. Well, that's a good point. Get resource might return null if there is no resource there. And I'm calling dot on it. I'm calling dot read text. So, I mean, I assume, sure, we'll just replace it with a question dot, and then like we get something that might be null. I think there must be in Kotlin some like .or how do I, oh, there's like question colon or something. I don't know. I want a way to say like if this doesn't exist, then like give up. But whatever. I'll just say dot read text and you can complain, and I'll get a null pointer exception. I just want to see, like, if I print... that's not... How do you print, like, an array here? I mean, I guess it's possible that it just works. Print input lines. So let's run this and see what happens. I think Kotlin also has a REPL that you can somehow get to, maybe? Yeah, okay, this works. Great. So, you know, Java's built-in print methods, if you give them an array, and I believe this is actually an array. No, it's a string. I called it input lines. Okay, lines? Sure. So what happens if I run it again? Okay, that's pretty good. It did successfully print the array. So now we have an actual array, right? Or a list. It's a list, of course. Okay, I hate arrays. I was thinking of arrays because main takes an array of string as arguments if you want. And so I had seen that earlier. But yes, of course, lists are way less horrible. So this is some immutable Kotlin list type. I don't know what it is exactly, but we know. Okay, great. So we have our thing, and I would like really to, like, you know what? Let's use the IDE and let's extract a function. Read input. Sure. And we'll take this. Is this how you extract a method? No, that's extracting a method. I don't want that. I want to extract a parameter. There you go. This. Except really it should be a... well, we'll say like this for now. And it's put it up there. Very nice. Oh, cute. It made it, since it's a short thing, it didn't give it a body. It gave it like an equals. That's true. That is allowed. I'll want to move this to be like a helper for all of my advent of code, but for now this is fine. But what I really want is to write day /day dot text and make day an int and this a 1. What do you think of this, compiler? Is this okay? Can I do this? Did I mess anything up? Looks great. Okay, so this is going to be a useful helper somewhere. And then we can actually add error handling to it at some point, but we'll deal with that later. Obviously, I'm not writing this program very quickly. It's a very easy program. But I'm like, you know, really, this is not advent of code. This is me learning Kotlin, and, you know, it's not going fast, but it's better than not learning it at all. And if you guys are watching it, you must be here for it. So I'll try to stop apologizing for it and just do it. Okay, so we have to parse this file. And in some sense, we could just, like, you know, turn this into a list of int or something, right? But I'd like, as I often do, not to write the shortest program that solves the puzzle, but to do some interesting, like, data modeling. And here, it seems like there's an important thing, which is, you know, we have an elf, right? So if I say data class elf, I think surely it must like capital letters. Oh, no, it's not braces. It's, okay, so, and it takes a val. Wait, can I just say, like, okay, let me see if I can remember the data class syntax. I believe I can say val. You basically, like, type in here the constructor's signature, and it, like, does everything, right? So val, what are these things called? Elves, okay, it's just like their inventory. Their inventory. Okay, sure, let's do it that way. Val Hey, what? No, I didn't ask for that. Inventory. Why are you auto-completing here? This is a list of int. Right? This is legal? I have successfully created a class. Good. So what I would like to do is construct a list of elf from this list of string that I have. And really, well, I was about to say, oh, I can just parse I can map a parse of like read int over each of these or whatever. But I can't because some of the lines are blank. It's so easy when you like know what the built-in stuff in a language is, and I don't. I mean, I can write a for loop, obviously. I hate it. What do I want to do here conceptually? I want to like split this list of strings somehow, right? So I want to input lines dot split? Is that, I mean, I don't want a splitterator. But okay, I guess maybe I want to stream it first and then, oh my god, okay. I mean, I guess a collector would certainly do it. What else do I have? Don't really want any maps. Reduce would do it, but it's a pretty big hammer. Okay, I don't really need any of these. What are all these weird Kotlin things you can do to it? Well, maybe the Kotlin sequence has a good answer, right? Maybe I don't want a stream. Maybe I want a sequence of it. What can you do with a sequence? Oh no, there's so many things. Chunked you can do by size. Distinct. Fold? I mean, okay, that's just sort of more of the same, I assume. Group by? No. Don't think we're joining anything. Pretty big library of things you can do to a stream, it turns out. Partition. That looks interesting. What does partition do? I assumed there would be... Okay, there's documentation here. This / unresolved made me nervous. Splits it into a pair of lists. Yeah, that's fine. I like reader mode. Ah, shit. This is like Haskell's partition, not Clojure's partition. This isn't what I wanted. Okay, so instead of partition, LNOP, we have reduce. What's a running fold? My goodness. Oh, that's probably like scan L1 or reductions or something. Oh, then they have something called scan. I don't think I want that. Windowed. Oh, and then there's all this stuff that's in like a different. What these are in alphabetical order, like not. I don't know why they're. Is it because they return a different thing? Why were these not in the earlier list? I don't know. Okay, so none of that is really what I wanted. But like a fold or a reduce certainly should be able to do the job. Right? I mean, obviously just iterating over it is kind of the easiest approach. I was hoping for a nice, clean, functional way to describe. I mean, what would I do in Haskell? If I had a list of things and I wanted to split them, I would like write a recursive function that uses break and span to search for the like or take while and drop while or something, right? I mean, I guess break and span are that, but with more useful features. I didn't actually see break and span here, which makes sense because of what sequences are. And I don't think Kotlin really encourages the whole recursive thinking approach. I mean, I'm sure every Kotlin developer in the world would just write a for loop, but I don't really want to do that. Okay. Let's just do that then. Input lines. Do I really have to do this? If I... Well, so one thing I kind of wanted to do was, isn't there a way to say, like, build list, right? That's kind of a funny thing you can do. So if I say build list of elf, what exactly, it should have like a parameter. Yeah, which is a builder action where you just have a list and you mutate it, right? So I could say val elves equals build list of elf by doing this. And if I say it, you know, what is it here exactly? Shouldn't that be a thing? Oh, no, it's this. What is the type of this, right? Yes, oh my god. It lets you pretend that you are a mutable list. Incredible. Okay. Fine. So then what we can do is say input lines dot for each, I guess. Actually, just iterate for me. No, I guess I want to do this. Iterate. Okay, that's how we iterate. Fine. And we don't even really have... God, I just want guava. I mean, I could have it if I wanted it. But it wouldn't be of the right type, right? Kotlin's lists are not Guava's immutable lists. I just want immutable list.builder, and instead what I have is immutable lists and like freeze and thaw or whatever they're called. So if I said like this dot, like how do I don't think I don't even want that, but oh, I think it's just a Java util list. Okay. Let me look up what a Kotlin sequence actually is. Okay, so a sequence, I still don't I'm not 100% on it, but sequences in general are, it looks to me, closer to a Haskell list or closure lazy sequence than to, you know, a Python generator function. They're lazily constructed list-ish things, which in general you're allowed to iterate multiple times, but sometimes you aren't. And you have like yield stuff, right? You have the kind of coroutine yield stuff, which seems like a reasonable way to implement something like this, right? We want to like, importantly, there's, where is it? If you scroll down, okay, fine. Generate sequence. So generate sequence is this function that you can pass a next function to, which like optionally gives back an item and performs some side effects. We're already mutating, God help us. Performs some side effects and then optionally gives back an item, right? And it calls that function like over and over until it says it's done by returning null. Nil? Maybe that's a Kotlin. I don't know. Does Kotlin have null? It probably just calls it null. Yes, it says null right here. And then you get back a sequence of the like non-null results that it gave you. So we could say, hello, my Alt-Tab button isn't working? Okay. We could say, instead of iterating over lines, we could say like, well, what is this type again? It's a list of string. I kind of want an iterator, don't I? Which feels terrible. What do you get if you... Okay, so if you call as sequence, presumably you get a sequence, I'm sure. That's great. Input lines dot... So what do you get on this? You can call iterator, but of course, like, then what's the point? I don't know. You get all the stuff we looked at before, right? So I kind of actually just want to say, give me... Oops. Give me an iterator for this. Something I can mutate, like consume items from mutably, right? And then I can say like while... Wait, what? What did you say when I typed while? Okay, you were just going to autocomplete that for me. That's fine. While input lines dot has next. Yes, I know. I'm writing some terrible Java garbage. What I'd like to do is say, oh, if there's another thing, then like add of next elf. No. Well, okay, yes, but make a function next elf. But I don't want it here. I want it here. That's allowed, right? Yes. So I want a local function that can produce an elf. And it's going to like return generate sequence. Actually, the IDE is going to tell me if you have just a return in a block, you don't need a block, which is true, but we'll see. Generate function or generate sequence. This dot to no. Return elf of generate sequence dot to list. Yes, is this allowed? I haven't implemented generate sequence, which is fine. Generate sequence of this lambda dot to list. Okay, so if I said return 1, would you be happy? Would this be... Return is not allowed here. Why not? Should I just say 1? Yes. Why? I mean, I've written a lambda here, but can lambdas not be multi-line things with a return? Anyway, I mean, this is sort of what I wanted. But I want this function that says... oh, do I have a new line? Do I have a blank line at the end of my list? Of course not. Let's say val line. This is so... I think I can just say input lines dot next. No, because I have to, yeah, val line equals lines dot next dot. Is there like a parse? Can I read? Read. Parse. Nope, not duration.parse, thank you. I mean, I know I can call integer.parseInt, but I'm assuming there's something more appropriate here. ParseInt. Okay, well. All right, let's look this up now. Sorry, I'm getting my keyboard shortcuts confused. Okay, we're all here. Kotlin parse int. ToInt is a function. Yes. String.toInt. Did I really not try? Okay. So I guess what I want is question.toInt. Oh, but even this isn't right because I have to check whether the line is empty first. So I should say or empty. If we failed to get a next input, it's empty. Can I now say return 1? Is that allowed? Why is return not allowed? Change to return at generate sequence. Oh, because this... Oh, I forgot. Kotlin's inline lambdas have this weird power. In some weird universe, I might want, while executing this function, to return from main or from next elf. And so I have to specify that I want to return from generate sequence, if that's what I want to do. So could I just say 1 if I wanted to return this? I can. Okay, so that's why all these returns are silly. Except that I want to return null if line is null, is empty. I guess I'll just say if line dot empty. Sure. Now let's return null. But it's mad now for multiple reasons, I think. So let's return this here. This is a nightmare. Otherwise, let's just return line.toInt. No, not return, just line.toInt. Okay. Elvis operator always returns the left. Yeah, but it's not a non-nullable string. It's next. This... Wait. What is the type of this shit? Is this a different iterator? This is the Kotlin collections iterator. Okay. Okay, but you're not supposed to call next if you haven't called has next first. And I'm doing it. So I think I can actually get null here. So I don't believe the type. Remove explicit type arguments. Ooh. You're inferring this, I guess, from the fact that I'm making an elf here? Sure. And I imagine you'll tell me here. Ooh, return to expression body? Yes. Or convert to expression body? That's not bad. So what would happen now if I just said print elves? Probably I'll get a null pointer exception, but won't that be fun to see why? Yes. No such element. Presumably at line 9 here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, fine. If okay, can you do split declarations or something, presumably? If input lines dot has next, then line equals this, else line equals this. Is this allowed? Okay, I have to tell you it's a string. Fine. Oh, actually, no. If there's nothing here at all, I just want to immediately return this, right? Well, I guess I want to do this anyway. Okay, you're going to tell me argument can be lifted out of if? No, assignment can be lifted out of if. Okay. You're going to use a oh. If's an expression. Okay, sure. Yes, fine. Go ahead and join them then. And I guess in principle, if I wanted to, I could take this if and like capture the variable out of it some other way. But okay, I mean, this is not exactly pretty. But, you know, for my first Kotlin program, there you go. We parsed some elves. And this looks about right. Yeah, we have a bunch of elves. This guy, let's look at our input. The first one has 8 things. Last one's 2551. Yeah, looks right. And the last elf, let's make sure we don't have some off by 1 at the end. Ends with 5279. Okay, cool. So it was it was quite a travail. What does that word even mean? Travail. Travail is painful or laborious effort. Yes, perfect. It was a travail. And it's not beautiful. But, you know, I parsed a list of strings into a grouped together list of objects without having to resort to a for loop. And we used some Kotlin language features like functions that are inside, you know, in a scope here. We used build list. Isn't that nice? I don't like that I had to use this iterator. I really don't like having to do this. There's lots of stuff about this that I don't like. However, you know, we did it. So let's, for starters, make this into a method. Parse elves. There you go. Now we can sort of forget about this forever. And we can get on with our lives and start working on part 1, which is to find the elf with the largest total, which should be very easy. So let's print part 1 is how do you call a function? I know there's like string interpolation going on here. You know what? I'll write it like a dumb Java idiot, and the IDE will tell me what I should have written instead. Plus part 1 of elves. Let's say print line. Okay. Please give me a function named part 1. Yes. Good. Yes. Returns an int. Yes. I am now done writing this. Fine. To do is okay. But what I want you to do is tell me how I was supposed to write this. Convert string concatenation to a template. Yes, perfect. Okay, looks like this. Great. What is this up here? I don't know. Not worried about it. So I think we can just like say, honestly, we could probably just say equals, but I'll let Kotlin do that for me. I'll let the IDE do it for me. Either return elves dot map. Well, I don't really want a list. I want as sequence, because I assume that's more efficient. Map. Yeah, because I don't need to build a new intermediate list after this. It dot inventory dot sum? Can I do that? Is that allowed? Yes, I can sum a list of ints. Great. This is something you couldn't really do in Java because Java's type generics are not reified; they're erased. And so when you call a function on it.inventory, inventory is a list of string, but at runtime it's just a list of whatever. And it doesn't make sense to sum a list of whatever, even if kind of conceptually it's a list of int. In Kotlin, I don't totally know how they do it, but they arrange to have like... Actually, I don't think this even needs reified type parameters, right? This is like something extension functions do. Because the type of it.inventory is known to be a list of int, an extension function is in scope, which isn't really a function on the object at all. It's just some other function that takes this object. But because of the stat, so like you magically have inventory.sum. So I think this is all we need. And if you could please do this, that would be great. Run it, please. Part 1, 66,719. Let's see how that looks. Correct, we did it. Okay. So our rich domain model, which is just a list of ints but dressed up in fancy clothes, made it very easy to generate to process the input in the way that we needed to for part 1. So let's see what part 2 is all about. By the time you calculate the answer to their question, they've already realized the elf carrying the most calories of food might eventually run out of snacks. To avoid this unacceptable situation, the elves would instead like to know the total calories carried by the top 3 elves carrying the most calories. So we're adding them together, yes. Okay, so there's numerous ways we could do this. We could sort the list and just take the first 3 or something. But I bet you Kotlin has a like top n or something, right? So let's say part 2 is part 2 of elves. That's an @ sign. Hey. Hello? Alt-Enter should be like... Ah, I accidentally put a brace there somehow? What the hell? I don't know. Please give me this method. Yes, I want it. Elves. Yes, yes. Oh, but it's not a string. It's an int. Okay, and like also, could you move this below? Wait, okay, this is jumping between. That's not what I want. I want this. What is this new thing? This looks like something I can say new whatever. Changes, okay, whatever. You can make tests for stuff. So if I were to say elves dot top, no, take. Okay, so is there a good like Kotlin sequence and a K largest sequences? Oh, here's you guys can watch, I guess. I hate going to Geeks for Geeks, but maybe they have what I want because it's very... Okay, naive approaches using sort. Get out of here. Using temporary array with sorting. These are all dumb. I don't want any of this. I don't want to use a fucking max heap. I mean, I guess I could. That actually is sort of the right way to do it. But there's like sorting networks that can get you the... Why would I use quicksort for this? Are you insane? No, I will not sign up. A BST? These are all just like, these are all the same algorithm. They're like sorted. I mean, a min heap, I think actually, I guess in this case we'd want a max heap, is actually kind of a reasonable approach. I'm just surprised there's not like Kotlin sorting network top n, right? Like ordering, I mean, top n elements in Stack Overflow, much more reasonable. You could keep a list. Okay, yeah, what a pain. So like here, yeah, give me guava. Hello? Okay. Yeah, so, all right. How do we... Oh, thanks, Lewis. Yeah. Of course it would be Lewis recommending guava. Sure. Let's upvote that. And upvote the question, too. Be a good citizen. I found this a helpful question. This is what I want. I have to figure out now in IntelliJ how to add a dependency. So, like... Here? You know what? I'll just say, like, dependency. Can I... Dependency more? No? Is this not allowed? It's like, it's around somewhere here you can do, like, project... I don't even... Oh, external libraries. Here we go. Can I say I want another one? No? Okay, but maybe if I type library? Add library dependency. Good. If I type guava, are you just going to find it for me? Wait. I've gone to the settings for adding libraries. That's not what I want. Android? No, I don't want Android. No. Okay. Yes, add library, not settings. Actions. Add library dependency, but that's in the settings. Oh my god. IntelliJ Kotlin add Maven dependency. I know this is stupid. I'm trying to understand how to program in Kotlin. Open the POM. I don't have a POM. File project structure. Modules dependencies? Really? Okay, so how... I was here before I started recording. Dependencies. Yes, but I want another. Plus? New library. From Maven? What if I said Java? What would that do? No, not local. What century is this? New from Maven. Give me... Did I search for Guava? Do I have to hit search? I mean, I could type out Google common... actually, what is the Maven? Google Guava, yeah. Okay, but I don't... I guess I want this one, 31.1. Give me the latest injected into my veins. I kind of wish you would just get me the latest. I guess that's... I spent so long working at Google that I forgot things have dependencies in the real world, or versions in the real world. Download to, I mean, whatever. Just put it wherever. Transitive dependencies, yes, of course. Java docs, of course. Sources, of course. Annotations, why not? Oh my god, we're going to be here for a while. Maven's downloading the whole world, huh? Can I do this in the background or something? Okay, so what has happened as a result of this? We're down... Yeah, these jars all look familiar to me. Or, I mean, enough of them do. Okay, fine. Yes, whatever. Apparently you need 7 jars to get guava for some reason. Fine. Yes, I depend on guava. So now I should be able to say elves. There's probably not a Kotlin extension. Actually, maybe there is like a Kotlin extension wrapper for guava somewhere where I could have just imported the right dependency and had to take least n or whatever. But now I should be able to, if we look back at that Stack Overflow answer, which was here. What class was this in? Comparators. Okay, so it's comparators. Compators. Comparators. So I can say least. Do I really... I wish I could say this in terms of most, right? Or greatest? Oh, it's probably called greatest. Of course it is. Comparators, greatest. What parameters does this take? Hello? Greatest 3 of comparators. Well, I just want natural order, right? Yeah. Natural order. Why can't I use guavas? Natural order. There should be comparator. No suggestions? Dot? I know there's a natural order in guava. Where the... Oh, sorry. You guys haven't been watching this because I've been... Guava natural order. Oh, no, it's... I can see why Google might think that I want to order natural guavas, but no. Let's say Java. Ordering. If I search for natural order... Okay, but I don't... Oh my god, whatever. Well, I'll use Kotlin's, I guess. That's too complicated. And this returns a comparator, so that's fine. Why do I have to say int? What? The syntax is reserved. Okay, is it... There's like a natural order in Java. Is there not? Or... Natural order. Yeah, Java util comparator has natural order. Why are you trying to trick me into using some weirdo Kotlin thing when yours doesn't even work? You know, I'm betting it does work. Okay, so what argument... Yeah, I know you can't infer this, but what arguments does greater take? Oh, greatest returns a collector? Over a stream. Yeah, okay. So I guess what we need is elves.stream.collect of all this junk. And it takes an int and a comparator. Yeah, you can't infer yet. That's fine. But we don't really want elves.stream. We want elves.stream.map of it.inventory. Oops, forgot to put in my lambda. Will you just write a lambda for me? I don't know, whatever. It.inventory.sum again. So it turns out we could have extracted this to a shared thing. Collect this dot sum? No. What type do I even have? Val x equals this. Format. Is this not... That's not the format button? How do I format? Format. Control-Alt-L. Okay, I have to move that. Lambda argument should be moved out of parentheses? What? Okay, I'll do that. I don't know what you mean. Oh. Sure? Int. I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying to call a method on Java util comparator called natural order. It takes no parameters. I want you to instantiate it at the type int. To call a reference? What are you talking about? Okay, what if I just get rid of this? Will you figure it out? This syntax is reserved. Am I supposed to do this? Okay, that's how you call static methods? No. What's wrong? Convert reference to lambda? Oh, no thanks. What is the type of x? Maybe if I said, okay, it doesn't know yet. I said I want its type to be, well, okay, wait, what does collect comparators.greatest return? It returns a collector of whatever, but what does collect return? Returns an R, which is the third argument, type argument of the collector, which is a list of t. So this should be a list of int. Help! How did I get caps lock turned on? I don't even have that key. List of int. How do you... Oh my god. Kotlin natural order. Natural order. Yeah, You just call .natural. You just call natural order. Like, but I want the one from Java. Well, maybe they're okay. What are you taught? It's reserved. What syntax? I'm just calling a function. I'm calling greatest. I'm passing it the 2 arguments it wants. Do I have the wrong number of parentheses or something? Close greatest, close collect. Well, I mean, I imported Guava, so congratulations to me on that. I can't use this goddamn Kotlin thing. Anything else broken here that I should be looking at, maybe? No, it's just this line it's complaining about. Enclose it in parentheses. Surely that can't be what you want. No? You want me to... Hello? What if I just like completely ignored you and said .sum? And I replaced this with an equals. Whoa! Oh, that got exciting. Equals that. You're still mad, of course, but what if I just tried to run it? Maybe the compiler that really runs things is smarter than the one in... No. It's the same problem. Of course. But why? What does this mean? Kotlin call Java static method. How do you call a static method? With dot instead of colon? Is this what were you mad about this the whole time? Oh my god, you were highlighting the wrong thing, you big jerk. Exhausting. Okay. So, build again? Great. And we get a number that is about 3 times as big as this, but not exactly 3 times as big, so it might be right. Let's find out. It is right. Fucking... I'm kind of mad, right? Like, what was that highlighting? I'm just a guy who's confused about when you're supposed to use double colon and when you're supposed to use dot in Kotlin. And it was like pointing at the wrong thing, telling me it was mad about it, and suggesting a fix that was not relevant. Okay, so we did it. Usually I finish celebrating by adding stuff to Git and committing it for a day. How do I do that? Well, it's just type git commit. There you go. How do I do that? Git commit. Okay. Sure, those are all fine. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I really should not be committing if this were a professional project, like my local IDE config or whatever, but whatever. So we'll say day 1. There you go. Done. Commit. This doesn't even have an upstream yet. I can't push it. Yes, please autofix my Windows line endings. Checks failed. Oops. What are the warnings? I don't care about this shit. Commit anyway. I mean, I plan this one. Who on earth decided that you should be, I don't know, whatever. I don't plan to have warning-free code. But this is like a very reasonable thing to do. How do I tell... All right, commit anyway, whatever. project configuration files? I don't think I will, but whatever. We did it. Baby's first Kotlin program is complete. Here it is in all its glory. And we can start extracting pieces of this to be used in other days as well, right? That was why I made read input into a function. Oh, I put too many blank lines there. I plan to like have this be in a library that they all use, and maybe there's something we can extract out of parse elves that'll be useful. Like this whole concept of grouping things separated by blank lines comes up all the time in Advent of Code. Maybe we can have something that does the blank line handling, and you just get back a list of string, right? Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this return to Advent of Code. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.